Capital One just canceled 2 of their most popular credit cards, and if you have one of them, you need to know what's happening because they're closing accounts by the day. So in this video, I'll break down why they're canceling the Capital One Walmart Rewards credit card and the Capital One Savor credit card, what you could do to possibly avoid some restrictions, how to pivot this mess, and even better, how to set yourself up for success when they start canceling your card. Alright, so first up we have the Capital One Savor credit card, and as of July 16th, 2024, Capital One has officially stopped taking all applications for this credit card. This person just applied a few weeks ago and got approved, but they're probably one of the last people to ever get this credit card, and you're probably wondering, well, what is Capital One saying on their website, and what are they going to do about this? So Capital One is saying, beginning July 16th, Capital One will no longer accept new applications for the Savor card, according to a spokesperson. So they're keeping it pretty generic, but let's dive a little deeper into it, because when I went to the Capital One website, it doesn't show anything for that card. In fact, it says this page can no longer be displayed. So real quick, for those of you that weren't familiar, the Capital One Savor offered 4% back on dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services, and did have a $95 annual fee. It is important to note that initially it had a 3% cashback offer, but it was quickly raised to 4% because Capital One was trying to compete with the Uber credit card. That said, it didn't really have any direct competitors with Chase, American Express, and the other big banks, which probably is what led to canceling this card altogether. Now we can't stop there, because the next part of the video, I'm going to show exactly what you could do if you currently have the credit card and what the best options are in your current situation. So if you already have the Savor card, there's been no official word on what's going to happen to your specific credit card, whether you're going to keep it, they'll cancel it, or just give you a different credit card instead. However, there has been talks from reliable sources on Reddit, people that were past employees, people that are currently involved in these decisions, thinking that you're just going to be grandfathered into the current benefits and the annual fee, and there won't be any sudden changes to this. I know you're probably wondering is, well, Nick, how is this going to affect my credit, and should I even accept the credit card offer from them, or should I call them and just simply argue with them? And I promise I got you. I'm going to talk about this later on in the video, but first let me get back to this part. However, unlike the Walmart card where they're going to switch you over, a little tip for later on in the video, so continue watching. If they do that with this credit card, let me give you 2 options that I think are best for you if they decide to switch your credit card and give you an option. Alright, so here we are on the Capital One website, and we're looking at all the credit cards. So if they're going to cancel your current credit card with the Savor, or potentially upgrade you or ask you for a product change to a different credit card with Capital One, here's 2 things that you could do. 1, you could go for the Quicksilver card. I love this card if you have excellent credit and they're giving you the option, because you're getting rewards, 1.5% unlimited cash back, unlimited, for a $0 annual fee. On top of that, it might not be applicable to you because it would be considered a product change, but they do have a 0% APR offer for 15 months. So that's one option. Second option most people don't even know about is the Savor One. So very similar to the card that you currently have, but it's technically a no annual fee version while still earning rewards. What do I mean by that? 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and streaming services, and at grocery stores, less 1% everywhere else. So it's a little more equipped than the card you had for no annual fee, which you're probably starting to see why they ended up canceling that card, because there's other similar options and even better options out there with Capital One. Alright, before we move on to the Capital One Walmart credit card, which probably affected millions of people, smash that subscribe button if you're enjoying this information so far. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does mean the world to me. Okay, now for the Walmart credit card, which is probably one of the most popular Capital One credit cards of all time. And if you didn't already get your letter explaining what's going to happen and why it's being canceled, let's jump into it. Coming in hot from the Capital One website, they blatantly tell us that the partnership between Capital One and Walmart is ending, and as part of the transition, the card won't be available. But what they failed to leave out is why it's ending. They don't mention the big lawsuit, which we'll go over, and they don't tell anyone what credit card it's going to be changed into, which we're also going to be talking about. So for those of you that don't know, Walmart actually sued Capital One because they weren't satisfied with the customer service expectations and a few other things like posting payment transactions and keeping up to date on customer accounts, which ultimately affected Walmart's business. So Walmart decided to take legal action. On top of that, they also failed to replace lost cards promptly, like replacement cards for customers. I don't see that as being a gigantic issue. Actually, I lied, because because if they're not giving replacement cards, then Walmart, you can't swipe your card at Walmart, and Walmart isn't making money. To keep it simple, as a result, they ended their partnership, and Capital One agreed to convert the Walmart credit cards to other branded Capital One cards, so consumers ultimately wouldn't get the bad end of the stick and would still ultimately be taken care of with another credit card. Not relevant for this video, but Capital One also bought Discover in February, so a lot going on with Capital One this year. So at this point, you're probably wondering, well, Nick, what happens if I have the Walmart credit card, and what should I do about this? And sorry if I didn't mention this, but this happening on September 9th, 2024, and ultimately, if you have the card, it's going to be converted to a Quicksilver card. It's also important to note you're not going to receive your new Quicksilver card until sometime in September. It may take some people up until 2025, according to Capital One. Good news about this is you should receive the letter. If not, you'll receive it in the next few weeks. Basically, it's going to outline when your card will be converted, and it's going to solidify exactly what I'm telling you here. And the second thing, now some people already have the Quicksilver, some people don't know what it is, and you may be one of them, so let's go over all of these options. So the good news is, similar to your Capital One Walmart's credit card where you have a no annual fee, the Quicksilver does not have an annual fee. However, the reward structure is a little bit different, earning 1.5% cash back on every purchase every single day, so there is no limit to the cash back you could earn, whether you're spending at Walmart, whether you're spending at TJ Maxx, or another one of your favorite stores. It's not 5% at Walmart. Capital One understands that. I understand that, but it is something. It is important to note you are getting 5% cash back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel, which is their new way of showing appreciation to people who travel often, and their way to compete with Chase and American Express, who have them beat in those travel categories. Alright, so let's say you already have this Quicksilver card and you don't need an other because that just simply doesn't make any sense. Now, depending on where you are in your credit journey, meaning if you have the best credit cards, if you have some good credit cards but not all of them, or you're simply just starting out on getting better credit cards, it's really going to make or break these recommendations. But we're going to treat everything the same and just pretend that you need another card for your Quicksilver, which is why I'm still going to recommend the Savor One Rewards, similar to getting out of the Savor credit card. You're still getting your cash back on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and at grocery stores, so most people's daily life. I know that pretty much covers all of my areas, and you're able to take advantage of Capital One offers and entertainment, which is 8% back, and then on top of that, you are getting the Uber credits as well as 5% back on travel booked through Capital One portal. The 10% back on Uber rides plus the complimentary Uber One membership is where you could get faster rides, less wait time, and cheaper service fees is definitely worth considering because at the end of the day, the card does not have an annual fee, so effectively all of these benefits are free if you choose to use them. Take it a step further for people who do want to tap into those travel credit cards. The Venture is an amazing credit card that has a 6 sign-up bonus at the time of me posting this video, which is 75,000 bonus miles after spending 4,000 in the first 3 months, plus 250 back in the Capital One portal. So, I mean, this is an insane deal. I haven't seen anything that high, considering the benefits that it comes with, like global entry and TSA pre-check, and 2 miles per dollar unlimited on every dollar you spend, plus 5 miles per dollar on specifically rental and hotel cars, plus 5 miles per dollar on hotels and rental cars booked specifically through Capital One portal for only a $95 annual fee. If an annual fee isn't your vibe, I don't blame you. Times are tough. The Venture One version is similar, very similar. However, you're not going to pay an annual fee because it's not going to come with this $100 TSA pre-check credit, which allows you to skip the line at the airport. It's not going to come with as much bonus miles, and then it's not going to come with as much daily bonus miles earned on every purchase that you spend. It's 1.25 miles per dollar versus the original 2 miles per dollar if you choose to get the one with the $95 annual fee. Now, it's important to note that none of these cards make sense if your credit isn't good enough because you'll just be denied for them and just quite embarrassed. So make sure that you're always using these pre-approved features before you actually get the credit cards if you do choose to get a new one. And then to take it a step further, if you choose to support my page, I do have affiliate links in the description below. They do help support my page at no extra cost to you, and it would mean a lot to me for taking the time to make these videos. So at this point, you're probably wondering, well, Nick, how does this affect my credit score and my credit report, and is this going to be destroying my credit? So good news is when your credit card is changed, something called a product change, or it's upgraded, it does not affect your credit report or your credit score because the actual account number on your credit report is going to stay the same. On the other hand, when you log into the Capital One portal, you might see different benefits. You're going to see a different credit card number, but ultimately all of that credit age. So let's say, for example, you had the card for 10 years. 10-year credit history is still going to show on your credit report, just going to look a little bit different when you go into the Capital One portal, because at the end of the day, it's a different card, different benefits, and so forth. By now, you're probably thinking, well, what other tricks does this guy have up his sleeve? So make sure you check out this video right here. It's going to share how to upgrade your Capital One credit card with no hard inquiry. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.